Hey everybody, welcome to Far Out Dudes.
Hey, it's another week, and we got another far out conversation for you.
I'm one of your hosts, Paul.
I'm Joseph, and where are we right now?
We are on the piece of property that I purchased on the moon today. So we decided I would buy some property on the moon, and we were going to do our show there. That's why it took us a while to get here.
Yeah, we had to get the space shuttle and weather delays, fueling charges. We were trying to do a, what is it called when a bunch of people rent a jet? Or we're trying to do a charter
Yeah.
with like the EU and NASA, but it wasn't working. So we just had to private.
So now
shuttle ourselves.
if we weren't already broke, we're definitely broke now, and we're going to start a GoFundMe. If y'all can just give us your money so we can make it back home, because we'll probably die out here.
Yeah, we spent money we absolutely did not have.
The banking system just lets people borrow money these days. Anyway, so this is a piece of property that I purchased. Piece of property that I purchased online, because you can buy pieces of the moon online.
Now, let me ask, because the first thing that pops up into my head is this like, oh, you bought a star?
No, this
when
is
it's not legitimate.
We've got deeds, bro. It's being sent in the mail.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
The deed is ticking longer than it is for us to get to the moon that we are right now.
Well, there's a lot of red tape and
yeah.
processing.
So, besides me owning a piece of property of the moon, Joseph, who do you think actually owns or would you say, kind of oversees moon property or areas, or would say is officially owner of the moon?
I wouldn't say anyone is. It's kind of out of everyone's jurisdiction, I thought.
Okay. Is that your answer?
Am I not right?
So would you say anybody has stake claim to any particular areas maybe of the moon?
Well, technically, the United States did go and plant our flag there. I don't know if they said we claim it.
Okay.
'Cause I think it's an international thing, but I don't know.
Okay.
I would have to assume that it's technically open.
It's kind of technically open. So you would think that by now nations would have been like, hey, this section of the moon is ours. This section of the moon is ours. Russia's over here. China's owning this, blah, 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 right?
The rest of the world, they get the dark side of the moon.
Yes.
No one can go on.
Just the big names, right? Just the big names get named in this whole situation. But actually, there was a treaty back in 1967 between the United Nations agreeing that there is the moon, along with other celestial bodies in the solar system,
Belong to America.
Belong to no one. Everyone, yeah. So there's no property owned by any nation. So it actually says that in the article of the treaty. Okay, I'm gonna read the treaty to you. It says it's the United Nations Treaty. It's part 2 of the treaty. It says, outer space, including the moon and other celestial bodies, is not subject to national appropriation by claim or sovereignty, by means of use or occupation, or by any other means. So meaning you're not allowed to say that you own that.
Yeah, so even though if like China or Russia or us or anybody else builds it like a base on the moon, doesn't make it theirs. They just have a base or something on the moon.
So it's not necessarily
like the International
we own
Space Station,
this property,
or like the outer areas of the Earth where satellites are. Like no one owns.
So let me ask you a question. From that sentence that I wrote from the treaty, do you think that anybody could find a loophole for that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people can find a loophole into anything.
What do you think the loophole could be for
the loophole? I think is where they mention nations and everything, and not people. Am I right?
Stop looking at my notes, bro.
I'm not. I swear I have not, but that's like the first thing that popped into my head is you mentioned nations and everything, but not people of those nations to go and claim it.
He's looking at my notes because that's exactly what I was going to say.
Go back and look at the video. I wasn't like this. I saw Article 2, but that was it.
That's a lie. So yes, that's exactly my point that I was going to make.
Boom.
That somebody could read that and say, well, it only says nations. It doesn't say an individual.
Of the nation or
anything.
Yeah.
So one man in the 1980s
bought the whole moon.
named Mr. Dennis Hope. He alleges that the treaty
Mm-hmm.
doesn't say individuals, it says nation.
Uh-huh.
And he went out and decided that he was going to lay claim to the entire moon.
Oh, not just the bright area, the dark area too.
Not just a particular spot on the moon.
Okay.
The entire moon.
That way Pink Floyd can't get to it.
The guy says that he is claiming the entire moon. Not claiming. He has claimed. Back in 1980, he claimed the moon was his.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
So he needs to go live there.
So what?
There's a little thing in there that says you got to go live there for at least 6 months out of the year. Like your rental home.
So now that you can't see my notes.
I wasn't looking at them from the beginning.
What do you think this guy's occupation was before he started
real estate?
No.
Really?
He was a salesman.
Of
car
course.
salesman.
Of course.
A used car salesman.
As a former used car salesman myself, this makes plenty of sense.
You're all sleazy.
That's why I left this car business, because my moral compass always points north. Thank you very much.
So I was like, okay, this guy Dennis Hope, he owns the moon.
Sleazeball.
Allegedly owns the moon
Can
himself.
we name him Sleazeball from now on?
Dennis the Sleazeball.
No, not
Hope.
Dennis the Sleazeball, just Sleazeball.
Okay. So I found an article on him, and I'm going to read what it is he used to do. So Dennis Hope worked as a used car salesman, actor, and ventriloquist.
Those are weird traits, but okay.
Now let me read the other part of the article. His risque cabaret act made him realize he could say just about anything or get away with it as long as he could smile his way through it.
Yeah, and it's part of the act, like, haha.
Hey, buy this crappy car.
Inward.
Yeah, as long as he's smiling doing it, Dennis Hope can do
he's
anything.
smiling.
Yeah.
I guess it's okay.
He seems really nice about it when he says it. I mean, come on, guys. So one day, as you can imagine, Dennis is divorced, lonely, broke, sitting at the window, gazing at the stars.
Thinking, I'm either going to kill myself or I'm going to own something huge.
making a wish upon the stars. Well, he made that wish.
Well, I hope it wasn't the moon, because the moon's in a star.
And his wish was denied because he was wishing upon a star.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Instead, this sleazy car salesman, as you named him,
used car, the worst.
he was looking at the moon and decided who owns it.
Hold on.
So Dennis, being the sleazy car salesman that he was,
he
wasn't sleazy. We don't know that about him, Joseph. He could
probably
have
was.
Good, honest man, divorcee, down on his luck, couldn't sell cars anymore, really needed some help.
Just
and
didn't have it in him.
You know what? What better, what moral, ethical person would not look at the moon and go, I'm going to start.
I want that.
And I want to sell property.
On the moon.
I guess he couldn't be a realtor on the earth, so he thought, you know what? I'm going to be a realtor on the moon.
Yeah. There's no license there.
Yeah. So, Mr. Hope did his research. And what do you think he found about owning property on the moon?
That there was nothing telling him no.
There was nothing telling him no, and there was a treaty.
So no one else could do it. Or no nation can come and be like,
there was a treaty that...
hey, no, you can't do that.
That no nation could own the moon. Okay? Again, this is where Dennis came in, and he thought just like you and said, well, it doesn't say individual.
Yes.
That was his loophole. That was Dennis's loophole to go say, you know what? I'm going to go register to own the moon.
Where do you go register?
And not only own the moon, but also other planets.
Okay.
Yes, like Jupiter, like Mars, Venus.
Pretty much
basically all the planets.
Okay.
He owns.
Wow.
And is selling them. So the dude laid claim to all of these since 1980.
Okay.
Do you think people took this guy seriously?
There's some stupid rich people, I'm sure, giving him money for something that's not official. Just like people saying, oh, I bought this star that's 2,000 light years away that I'll never see close up.
So, yes, this guy, people were taking him seriously.
Of course.
And he was selling pieces of moon and other acreage from other planets for years, since the 1980s. He's been selling it.
I guess.
So while he was planning on doing this and actually started selling little pieces, he went and actually tried to contact like the U.S. government and during that time the Soviet Union and trying to find out like, okay, what's going on? Is anybody going to stop me from doing this?
Yeah.
Nobody. They all ignored him.
Because it's just some
seriously.
guy sitting us just like, throw it away.
So he was like, you know what? I'm going to establish the lunar embassy in selling the moon. Okay.
Nice. Okay.
And he had been doing that since 1980. By 1995, he left his day job and did it full time, selling parts of the moon.
Please do not tell me he's made like millions of dollars off of this.
Get in there.
If he did.
I'm getting there, people. I'm getting there.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So just imagine that you decide to leave your day job and they go, hey, where are you going? What are you going to do?
I'm going to go sell the moon and Mars and Jupiter
and planets all around. This is what I'm going to do.
So wait, let me ask a question real quick.
Okay.
All this, and he lost a planet recently. Pluto.
Well, he still stakes claim to it.
Okay.
Owning it.
Just as a lunar object? Or
yeah. Celestial bodies.
Yeah.
Guy owns celestial bodies. Okay. Not succulent bodies. Celestial bodies.
There's a difference.
Yes.
A big difference.
So what do you think the cost of some of this acreages that he's selling?
Well, I'm going to guess, I don't know, man. I don't want to guess some stupid number and be like, no, it's more. But
no,
like 1,000 an acre?
Okay. Okay, that is kind of high, actually.
Okay. What's the moon?
$24.99.
Oh.
Is his cheapest piece of acre of property in the moon.
Oh, that's not too
okay.
bad.
Yeah. Continent size pieces of property. How much do you think he's selling those for?
There can't be much because the moon's not that big.
Let's say,
well, I guess for any planet,
like let's say
like Mars or something, right?
A piece of the moon that's the size of North America or South America or Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, and Australia.
Taking me back to kindergarten days.
Yeah.
99.99.
Close.
No, because it's a whole continent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 1,000.
No. 5.3 million acres would be sold for $13.3 million.
Oh wow.
Yes.
And now I'm pretty sure you're gonna say, but has anyone purchased that large of a piece?
In my research, I haven't found anybody that's purchased that much from this individual guy. So how much has he sold? Right? So in an interview with Vice, he says, well, this is the only job I've had since 1995. Okay, this is quoting him in a Vice interview that he's had.
Is he hiring?
Which is when I started doing this full time. We've sold 611 million acres of land on the moon.
Wow. How many acres is the moon?
Okay, that's the moon.
Oh, it's the whole moon already.
No, that's not the whole moon. That's that's how many acres. I mean, you think about a continent that we kind of, the example was up there, like 5.3 million acres, right? That's right? So he sold 611 million acres of land.
Jeez.
Okay. 325 million acres on Mars.
Okay.
And a combined 125 million acres in Venus, Io, and Mercury, which I think is one of the moons. So this guy,
the moons.
So he also owns the planet plus the moons, by the way,
of Mercury.
So he sold that much for Mars and everything. So again, we know that he has all of this. How much do you think he paid for most of this? You would say
paid for it?
Yeah,
I would think it's just like processing fees. So like,
yes.
I don't know,
basically processing fees to register that he owns. Yeah,
yeah.
So when he goes to the state,
he went
to the state. And when he went to the government, basically the state government is where he went to fill out paperwork that he made his own document saying that he owns the moon.
Fill out his own paperwork that he made.
Exactly. Took him a while, but they finally gave him the rights to the moon, the state government, which they probably were like, you know what, just get him away.
Yeah, just approve it. He's crazy. Just approve it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So not only does he sell pieces of planets, and our moon itself. He also sells domain names in like .mars, .moon, etc., etc. So Hope
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think Hope sells in a day?
Hope.
Yes.
Oh,
Dennis
guys.
Hope. Yes.
This is his last name.
Yes. He's not sleazy. His
How
name
many
is not
acres
sleazy.
or just like money wise?
Acres, you would say, or yeah, acres a day. How many do you think he sells acres a day?
I'm gonna say
of
like
the moon. I would say
a couple hundred.
this will. To me, I would say this would make him probably.
Well, now that the internet,
the top realtor,
now that's the internet,
not only on Earth,
like a couple thousand acres a day.
but in our galaxy, I would say.
Yeah, he's not international. He's
1,500.
intergalactic.
Dude sells at least 1,500 acres a day to people
For $29.95.
$24.99.
AJ, $24.90. What?
$24.99 times 1,500.
How much is he making every day? $37,000
every day a day by selling the moon.
That's just acreage around the solar system.
That's it.
I need to take this guy to court and just be like, no.
But you know what I thought? It sounds just like how you were saying at the beginning, right? Like, what does that sound like? People selling different things, right?
Yeah, something that I don't know.
Like, I'm gonna buy
like a scam.
I'm gonna buy them a little square foot of acreage in Scotland.
Yeah,
so
that like 1 square foot.
So you can be a lord.
Isn't true at all.
Yeah,
that's not true. You don't become a lord or a lady just because you buy 1 square
foot.
Well,
I am a lord and a lady because I got the certificate that says I'm a lord.
Well, I can make it myself like Mr.
Call
Hope.
me my lord.
I'll make it like Mr. Hope.
But yeah, that's what I think. I think it's more of like a novelty thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So the dude's selling deeds up the woozah. Okay?
So wait a minute. What's to stop me from doing that?
Well, ask Mr. Hope. He's probably going to say nothing, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing
go file my own stuff.
I mean, I'm guessing
state.
Nobody was stopping these people from making fake certificates to say that you're a lord.
Yeah.
Or
because it doesn't hold any legal precedence anywhere.
Exactly.
Well, I guess it may because you got it approved by the state government.
Or that you're a knight in some land, you know, because you can get those too. I mean, all those kinds of things that can happen. So who do you, now that we've kind of established the fact that this guy is definitely selling stuff, do you think that, obviously people are buying it 1,500
It's a lot
a
of
day.
people.
So that's a lot of people. If he's buying that at a day, there's a lot of people buying it. Who do you think are buying these things? Like what kind of...
There's like, you're going on two opposite ends of the spectrum. Okay. There's just two opposite ends. These are the people who are buying them.
Okay.
Rich, dumb people, poor, dumb people.
Not middle class then.
No, not the people who
not
actually
for, like,
care
birthdays,
about their money.
Like, oh, it's $24.99. I'm gonna get you a piece of property on the
I
moon.
would consider you dumb if you did that.
I know what to get you for your birthday.
I'd be so pleasantly surprised.
So yeah, so I looked this up as well, and most of the articles actually gave names to people who actually bought property on the moon. Okay,
let me guess, few celebrities, right?
Celebrities,
of course.
Okay, past presidents.
Okay,
even
Donald Trump.
even companies. No, actually, I didn't find Donald Trump, but not to say that he didn't. I'm sure he probably did too, just for the fun of it. Because I think that's what most of
the documents.
I think most of these people did it for the fun of it.
Yeah.
So you have people
as a novelty, not I'm taking to court. I have 15 acres of Mars. You're trespassing on my property on Mars.
So
United States government rover.
So here's the thing. I'm gonna get into that.
Okay.
I'm gonna get into the property and people going on to other people's property and things like that, and like to say if people truly feel if this is real or not. Okay. So there's people like, but I'm gonna name the celebrities. Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
You got Tom Cruise. You
got
Makes sense. John Travolta.
Makes sense. Scientologist.
George Lucas.
Makes sense.
You would think Star Wars.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood.
Okay. Maybe he's just a little old senile now.
Yep. Tom Hanks.
Okay.
Let's go to presidents.
Okay.
George Bush.
Makes sense.
Ronald Reagan.
Well, he's dead. I can't do anything about it.
If you're a company, what kind of company, or if you were thinking about companies, what kind of company do you think would probably lay stake and say, hey, I'm going to purchase some of this?
It's not anybody like super huge.
Like actual companies. Not necessarily. Let's forget the people's actual individual names, but companies.
Yeah, like actual big. I'm gonna say like Dodge.
Okay.
Or Netflix.
No.
Kind of that mid range, not like Google or Facebook.
When I give this to you, you're gonna go, Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, but still stupid for purchasing it, right?
Yes. Hit me with it.
Hospitality companies like Hilton and Marriott have purchased.
Yeah,
So
and I was thinking like, well, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
See, I
Makes
told
sense.
you you would think that after it. So this guy has been selling it to all these people. But I have yet to find any information to say that somebody's bought millions of acres from this guy.
Yeah, you're not seeing Bill Gates.
Yeah.
But
Well, you're not seeing. I don't.
Anybody buying millions of acres. Like
I don't
that.
think I've seen like any articles that say George Lucas bought millions of acres or Hilton bought millions of acres.
Well,
or,
I haven't seen any articles saying anything about acreage being bought anywhere, planetary wise.
Yeah. But this guy is this is what he sends to you, a deed. It literally says deed real big on it. You
like
can see right there.
Like in the movies or cartoons where they're like, here's the deed to my land.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So this guy saw an opportunity and he seized it, I say.
Interesting.
For people like I think this
reminds me of like the people buying homes or castles or pieces of land in like the metaverse or something like that. That's what this reminds me of.
Well,
but it's actual tangible things. You can't get to it, but it's tangible.
Well, I think like the Lord and the lady and all that other buy a tree or you get this property or whatever. I think he's the original one that like got people to do this exact same thing. Right?
Wouldn't doubt it. Yeah.
I mean, it's true to me. I think it's honestly novelty for this guy. And here's why. Because when I looked it up, when I was thinking novelty, in the same article with Vice, when they were talking to him, one of the big things, the questions they asked him was, so people are buying land with the intent to actually do something with it? Mm-hmm. Or is it more of a novelty thing?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's probably what everybody's
Here's what I would do. And this is just me.
How do you think he answered that, by the way?
No, it's not a novelty. It's real. And I have all the paperwork to do it. Back it up.
Okay. Now, what were you going to say before that?
I was going to say, here's what I would do with the acreage. I would buy a bunch of it and then sell it to the government.
So he actually, so this is him again.
Private
quoting
industries.
from the interview. He says, well, if you look under the true definition of novelty as being something that is unique, having the quality of being novel, a small mass-produced item, we fit exactly that.
Well, he knows what they freaking meant. He knows a novelty.
I don't really.
The true definition of novelty.
Well, and here's the thing. I really don't mind people calling it a novelty. Mm-hmm. I would suspect not if he's selling $1,500 a day. That's making him about $36,000 a day. Okay, like I would be like, you can call it whatever you want.
I don't care what you call
this
it.
Thing. Yeah,
I'm making a bank daily.
Yeah. So he says, in fact, our history shows us that 70% of people buy the product as a novelty item. 17% only, dude. Come on. He's saying only 17% of the people purchasing buy it as a novelty.
Yeah, no. I think they're like, I own this.
He says, but we also know that 42% of the people register their property in the name of a trust they've set up, meaning they take it more seriously. And of course, we also know that the majority of corporations who own land have a specific intent for it.
Well, that would make sense, you know. But see, the thing I'm thinking is, yeah, you're going to buy this and, the big corporations are going to end up going there and you're going to sell it for big bucks, or your future great-great-great-grandchildren are going to sell it for big bucks. But the thing about that is these corporations are huge and they're going to get there and they're not going to look at your paper and be like, you bought this?
Yeah.
Your great-grandpa bought this 80 years ago. I'm supposed to believe this thing that says deed on it gigantically? No, we'll take you to court and we're going to do whatever we want with that piece of land.
Okay, so now, being the moral, ethical man that he is, selling pieces of the moon.
Yes, this used car salesman.
Do you think there's any part of the moon that he says, you know what? Not selling it. It's important that we do
where
not.
America landed on the moon and the footsteps and everything.
Actually, I'm sure he's sold that already to America.
Or is holding it for himself.
I'm guessing the president. I don't know.
Oh, probably, yeah.
But he has said with his with the highest moral and ethical values that this guy has said the frozen poles that hold the water that the moon has is not for sale.
Oh, the most money-making one.
Because it is important that it not be sold. because water is gonna be needed on the planet
because
on the moon.
Because people are really gonna want it, and those are my deeds to make even more money off of when the time comes.
You know what? You're saying that, but he's been offered a multi-million-dollar deal to sell
The ice.
the ice. He's He is no Dr. Evil.
Do it.
He does
I would
not
do it. Why
want-
wouldn't you do it?
He does not.
Why wouldn't you take multi-million-dollars for a novelty item?
He does not want $1 million.
I don't know if that's gonna stay. I don't know if that's gonna stay.
But exactly, why would you turn down for is there must be some reality or some thought to say that this thing is a real thing, that people are actually going, you know what? I'm a company. I'm going to buy this multi-million-dollar ice cap from
Who
the
is
moon.
giving him the multi-million-dollars?
I have no idea.
Why wouldn't you take it? You're just like, oh, here's a clause that you blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
In this giant deed that I'm giving you and signing off is that you own the property but not the ice on it. Boom.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
So I think people started to take
It's like
him seriously,
mineral rights.
right? People started to take him seriously
Mm-hmm.
in the effect that he was probably conning people. So he's actually been sued by 2 countries already.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Big countries?
Big countries.
Oh.
Germany and Sweden have sued him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And try to indict him for fraud.
Well, see, this is where I would think, hey, if you went to like the United Nations and got it sealed off or signed off, like, then more official. You know?
Possibly, maybe. Right?
Mhm.
So they sued him. He was indicted for
Mhm.
fraud. But the cases were dropped due to the jurisdiction enforcement issues.
Mhm.
So basically, him being in America, they couldn't really get him for fraudulent.
Yeah,
for a fraudulent
in their
scheme.
own country.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what did this guy do? Not saying that he did this right after he got sued or anything.
He sued
like
them back.
that. No.
Oh.
He actually put a group of other owners, and they created the Galactic Government. It was established and ratified
Uh-huh.
by owners of different properties
Uh-huh.
in 2004.
So, what does that mean?
It means he's got his own galactic government going on.
Oh,
and
nice.
there are people out there
Uh-huh.
that have joined in with him and made, I guess you would say, almost like a government constitutional document
Uh-huh.
put together to say they are the galactic government. It's got a flag and everything.
And he gets life term. I bet.
This guy, they got a flag.
Mm-hmm.
They've got their government.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you need in a country?
Currency?
You need currency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He's got currency.
Is it moon rocks?
No. This fine gentleman has created currency backed by the moon's helium reserve.
Okay, so it's actually backed by something.
It's backed by something.
Or
Not by
the
gold.
ice.
Not
Why
by-
not the ice?
Not by gold or the ice,
Uh-huh.
but by the helium reserve.
Uh-huh.
Okay. He says that
It's a strong dollar.
he claims, I should say, he
Uh-huh.
alleges that the worth is upwards of $6 quadrillion US
Now is that
of moon's helium reserve.
2023 money or is that 1995 money?
To be honest, I don't know.
Because it can only go up.
That's a good question. So it's obviously inflation and all. It's
Yeah.
probably
No pun intended.
probably literal inflation with the helium reserve. Yeah, so 6 quadrillion, he says.
Wait, what is it called? Is it a moon dollar?
You know what? I
Moon
didn't.
buck?
As much as I looked into this guy, I didn't really actually see the name of the currency. I'm sure it's out there. If you know if you're watching this and you
Sounds
know
like
the name of the
$100.
currency, put it down in the comments for us.
Comment it for us, please.
'Cause
Because if it's a moon buck, I might buy an acre. I'm just saying.
So after this,
Set up
right,
for moon bucks.
after all this, do you think, was Mr. Hope the first guy to ever think of this? Was he the first one to ever say, the moon is mine, I own it?
No, because the moon's been there for
No.
ever.
People have been saying that they own the moon for hundreds of years,
if not thousands.
So in one of the articles that I found, and that states that the earliest known ownership of the moon
was by a king.
No.
Oh.
No. Not a king, not a queen. But back in 1756, a German family, the Jurgen family,
Okay.
State claim to it.
Are they the the inventors of Jurgens lotion?
Yeah, I think they're not.
Okay.
Or maybe that's pretty good. I should have looked that up. I didn't even think about that. I didn't put the two and two together, you know? Yeah. The Jurgen family of Germany and the Jurgen lotion. So in the end, do you think any of these people take him seriously?
I'm just gonna split the difference and say some do and some don't, but majority don't.
Yeah, because if you own a piece of this property, are you not worried about just people just when you're not there, or somebody in your family doesn't own it anymore, like somebody just coming in and taking it?
Is it like what are those things called? Well, it's a deed, so it's assigned to you.
Yeah,
you know, it's not like whoever has the document is the sole owner of it. Whatever those bonds are called.
Yeah. But so here's the thing. Here's what he also explains. Okay, obviously, most governments don't take them seriously. They're looking at like, okay, what about the people who purchase it and the property being taken over? And well, here's one of the things that he doesn't mention in
the tiny.
Well, I don't know if he actually mentions this to people to let them know, like, if you own this piece of property, the treaty also says that it doesn't stop anyone from exploring your property. So the treaty allows for any state or nation to explore freely.
Yeah,
which would mean
explore, not state claim or take anything. Yeah.
So even though you own it, other nations, when they land on it, they're not going to care about your ownership.
They're not going to ask for permission.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a big fence up on mine. It says private property.
Maybe I should stake claim of the mineral rights on the moon. Ooh, I wonder if he did that.
Are there the helium and everything?
Oh, he must have the mineral rights as well.
I don't know. Maybe on just the moon.
If he doesn't, then I own $6 quadrillion US.
By this time, when this episode comes out, we will own mineral rights for all the planets.
Bam.
You can buy them at mineralrightplanets.com.
So yes, I don't think any governments take them seriously, and here's one of the reasons why. Okay. They say they don't hold them seriously because a lot of the legal issues, lawyers of different nations say, likely none of the deeds will hold up.
Yeah.
There's no evidence of ownership or legal binding to the property besides this guy just saying that he owns it and he's selling it to all you people for $24.99. Well, you can literally make your own certificate and deed on a computer that says you own part of the moon.
You could probably make it better than he did too.
Probably, because it literally says deed really big.
Well, see, that's where it pops up back in my head what I said. Like, if huge corporations are going to go over there, like these huge conglomerates, they're not going to be like, oh, shoot, this guy bought it 60 years ago. Yeah. Here's the deed. Like,
here's the deed.
No, we're taking this to court, and that's a piece of paper. Yeah. That's all it's good for.
Yeah. So what have we learned from this? What do you think we've learned?
That the testament of a fool and his money are quickly. What's it?
A fool and his money are easily separated.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's
that's what I was gonna say. But I was also gonna add that you can basically sell anything to anybody if you are a good salesman.
You know what? I'm just gonna get my sales background and start selling crap.
Yeah.
That I don't have to produce or anything.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
So
sounds great.
if you're one of these purchasers of the moon, let us know.
Yeah, send us a picture of it. Everyone, if you're seeing this and you have from this gentleman an actual deed, our email's at the bottom, faroutdudespodcast@gmail.com. Send us a picture of it. Yeah. And we definitely want to look at it.
Like, share, subscribe, and comment. It helps with the algorithm, and we thank you for watching.
This is the end.